Well, basic stuff to begin with. You were fairly confident that Biggins and Craig would be fine to be involved this Friday. Is that still the case?
Yeah, Matty Craig's perfectly fine. Big O will give as much time as possible. We've been managing a little situation with him for a few weeks, and we've got another day, so we'll see how he is. So we're not writing him off just yet.
Miller, there was a small possibility that he might play some football in the playoffs. Might he?
Yeah, he'll be in the squad for the game. Like we do, we bring a squad of 22, 23 players to every game, including 3 goalkeepers. So George will be part of that squad, and we've got decisions to make, obviously, in terms of the team, the bench, all sorts. So these are things, obviously, we think about as a coach and staff.
Just to have the very prospect that Miller might play some football is a great boost, isn't it?
Yeah, he's worked hard to get back, George, and he's been training now for probably the best part of 2-3 weeks. Like the ideal scenario for us, but it's not really lended itself to it because of the timing of him coming back. Was to maybe get him some games, but and when I say games, like in-house games and things like that, but we haven't had an opportunity to do that. So we know he's really, really short in terms of match fitness. Obviously, he's not played for near enough a year. Yeah, but it's nice to have him around the training ground.
And if I can just check before we move on to other things, Max Biamu, how's he coming along?
Just in the treatment room with Jack Senior, Ben Close, 1 or 2 others in there. So yeah, just working hard, like I say, to get themselves back as fit as they can for possibly pre-season in those 3's case.
The match is a sellout. How much are you relishing that prospect and just adding another layer of excitement to what potentially could be a great occasion for Doncaster Rovers?
Yeah, it's brilliant to have the fan base supporting us, and they've been supporting us all season. It's been really encouraging for us, for us in the football club and in the football and staffing side and the player side, that we've had that support from our fans all season, and that's just not these playoff games. It's been the whole season. We've had our fans supporting us, and this is another one that they're coming out in their numbers to support us, which is brilliant. And there's no better place to play at our home when the stadium's bouncing. I think this season we've seen it in the Everton game. Possibly the Wrexham game when there was a lot of fans in there. The atmosphere is tremendous, so this is another one for that. So it should be hopefully a good night for everybody, and we can concentrate on our performance and making sure we get that right.
How much do you hope that this run, the success that you're enjoying right now, everything that swirls around that, taps back into the town, and those that maybe hadn't been for a while will come back next season?
It's the reason. It's what we do it for. We want our fans, with us and behind us, and they have been, and that's so encouraging for us. That we've got that support behind us, and they give everyone so much confidence and belief. Yeah, it's something we wanted to try as soon as we come back into the football club. Myself and Cliff and the staff that I brought in here, the players. We wanted to try and create that connection with our fan base because I think it's so important. And hence you've seen a lot of the work behind the scenes and the players going out into the community work. But ultimately, to have your fan base with you and come and support you, you need to produce on the pitch, and hopefully we're doing that.
You've got yourself into a very enviable position, but how much have you run the rule over all of the different playoff scenarios that might happen on Friday night?
None. Absolutely none. The only focus I've been doing and we've been doing is making sure that we perform to win the game. There's been no thinking other than that. That's obviously your job and the media's job to think that. My job is to focus the team on winning the game on Friday night at home. We feel confident, we're in good form. The game at Crewe's done, it's gone. The next challenge for us is the next one, and that's Crewe at home in the second leg, and we're going out to try and win the football match.
How easy is that for the players to do what you've just said then? Because they'll be aware of what's happened in some of the other playoff matches and near misses, etc., and maybe their own personal experiences, just to say, focus on the job in hand here.
Very easy. I said this after the game. We've got a group of players who are very level-headed, and you know, we try and keep them like that, but they're like that anyway. And you know, they're just focused on performing and putting a good performance on for, you know, packed house at home. We just want to perform. We want to try and win the game. We'll go after the game. We'll get after them. We'll see how we get on, and try and be as positive as we can.
What do you know maybe about Crewe that you perhaps didn't before the first leg?
I know they're a good team. I know Lee's done an unbelievable job to get them into the top 7. The first game was tough, very tough game, particularly the first 20-25 minutes. But I think once we scored, we settled, and we started to play our game and got more of a control of the game. So we'll be looking to try and do that from the off, rather than 20-25 minutes into a game, and see where that takes us. So yeah, the players are well prepped and focused on what the job in hand is.
Appreciate nothing's done yet, and obviously there is then the prospect of Wembley to deal with, but given where the team were to where the team are right now, and given the fact that everybody's got a smile on their face, what's this like to be a focal point of and part of for you?
Honestly, it's really hard to answer a question like that because we're just so focused on the game. I've not really sat back and thought about anything like that really. I've just tried to keep zoned in on the next game. You know, what do we need to do to win this game? That's, you know, what is Crewe going to do? Are they going to do something different against us? Will they change their shape again? What personnel comes in? These are things I think about as a manager, the staff think about. We try and put them different permutations onto the training pitch for the players to understand what they may do. If they go to this, what we're going to do. So these are things that we think about. We don't think about anything else other than the football match, and that's where we are.
I know it's become a bit of a football cliche about youth and experience, but well, if the first leg was anything to go by, the younger players are playing with the same type of head as some of the older players, aren't they, right now? I know there's been a lot of focus on Craig's performance, but he's not the only one. Lotitola, etc., doesn't play like a 21-year-old goalkeeper. As a coach, that must be great to see that unfold and develop.
Yeah, it all goes back to the recruitment, and you know, it's a massive thing in terms of character when we recruit, and I speak about this all the time. You know, the character is more important personally for me than the ability, and when we're recruiting people like Timmy and Matty, like you just mentioned, you know, the first thing we do is do a lot of groundwork and homework on their character. So we know they're level-headed guys, they enjoy their football, they're focused, but also very good quality. So yes, it's pleasing.
Just finally, sum up the contribution of somebody else at the other end of the age scale. Well, sort of. Joe Ironside has obviously been a presence, a constant, but it's not just the goals, is it? His tally's impressive, but it's everything else that he brings to the game. And well, if he can take the first leg performance into the second, he'll be a key part of it. Yeah,
Joe's a huge player for us and has been all season, and his performance in the first game was excellent. But Joe knows that. Look, we can't. That's done. It's about going and doing it again on Friday night. So hopefully he can produce another good performance for us, you know, if selected, and he goes and produces another, you know, a good game and helps us win the game.